All right, it is time for some raw thoughts, straight from the back of the mind, out of the mouth, no filter. You see, I get thinking sometimes, and I get thinking about the way the world is, and how the younger generation is, compared to the way we were. And sometimes I just shake my damn head, and I don't get it, and I don't understand it. And then one of these smiley, smarky little shitheads come up and they're like, "You gotta cope harder, old man. It's okay when you're a boomer." When I'm not a boomer. And old. Gonna be 48, and that ain't old, let me tell you. And you guys think that I gotta cope harder? You talk about coping. Let's take a look at you little runts, okay? That's right. I'm going to be a little brutal on this one. But let's take a look at you guys. You want to talk about cope harder. How many of you have actually gone out, drastically failed at something, fell on your face, picked yourself up, brushed yourself off, mended your own wounds, whether they be physical, mental, or whatever they are these days, and moved forward, stepped up, kept going, and walked along down that road just a little bit further than you were the day before, despite the failure, despite the hurt, despite the pain. You just kept going forward. Because there's one thing us older people know, that even when you're moving along and you trip up and fall on your face, you're still going forward. But you're so afraid. You're afraid of everything. You're afraid of your shadow. You're afraid to be out in public. You're afraid to talk to people. You're afraid of everything. And how can that be? That's not possible. Well, it's my anxiety. Well, these anxiety fears that you all have now that are so prevalent, it's not a genetic thing. It's a learned thing. Okay? You were never taught to deal with a problem. You're the ostrich generation. You want to stick your head in the sand and do it all. You try and talk to any one of them, and the second they hear anything that is not absolute golden praise for the worst goddamn monstrosity that they have ever done or said, they get this look. They just all zone out, stick their head down, jump it in the sand, and they are done. You can't talk to them. They're useless. You younger kids, you crap right out. You don't listen and you don't pay attention. And you need to. You have to listen. We might come across as crotchety and old and condescending. Well, you know what? It's because we're older. We're wiser. We've been there. We've done it. We've been through it. Not a lot has actually changed. Things are different because of the technology aspect, but other than that, the problems are still the same. There's the fear of growing up. There's the fear of being on your own. There's a fear of not having help when you fail. There's a fear of not knowing anybody when you move somewhere. None of these have ever changed. You say the technology has made it easier and more connected, but it hasn't. It's made you less connected. It's made you more afraid of people, unless they're pushing some damn little like button or a share button and helping you with these likes and all that stuff. So you can get what you're calling, the internet clout. Well, guess what? There is no such thing as actual internet clout. There isn't. It's just a crap old thing that they are telling people, hoping that you'll still buy into it and you'll push, and that's the only thing you'll do. And it's not there. Yeah, there's people who get on there and they talk, and they have people that watch, and they have people that do things, and, But in a single day, that all could be gone for them. And a lot of them understand it. Okay? A lot of them understand that in a single day, that could be gone. You take the biggest YouTubers in a single day, it could be over, done, and they get it. And some of them, they walk away, and you get people that are just absolutely crushed. Because you live your lives through what you see other people do. And you can't do that. You have to live your life for you. You have to get out. You have to be active. You have to do things. You can't stay at home. You can't hide behind the walls. And you can't barricade yourself in your room. You have to go out, you have to function, You have to talk to people. You have to see people, even if you don't like them. Take me for an example. The fact is, I am probably one of the most people-hating out there. I don't like people. I don't like getting to know people. But yet I can be the most sociable, antisocial person you have ever seen. I will get out in a group. I will go out. I will enjoy it. I will have fun with them. I will do things and have a good time. But it's not my bag. It's not my cup of tea. You have to understand that you need to go out. You need to socialize. You need to speak to people, and you need to do these things. Otherwise, you're going to have these fears all your life. You're always going to be paranoid. You're always going to be confused. And if you sit there and you bury your head and listen to crap from people who are artificial, completely fake, and you don't even know if they're none of it about them is real. See, that's the first thing you got to understand. For a generation that is solely buried in the internet from cradle to grave, a hard time understanding how you guys don't realize that 99.9% of what you see on there is bullshit. It's made up. It's artificial. You talk about the construct of this and the construct of that. Everything you see on the internet is a construct made and designed to make you think and see and feel a certain way. And you're all buying into it like you would not believe. And I don't get it. You'll claim to be smarter, you claim to be better, and you claim to get why it's not a good idea. And yet you buy into it. You sit in your little rooms. You watch your TikTok. And it's all the same. Not only that, I've looked at the TikTok videos, and 90% of what's on there is old stuff stolen from somebody else. Unless it's people whining about how they're so held back and oppressed and underprivileged, and everyone else is super privileged except them. It seems like everybody these days is beaten down, singled out, and oppressed. At least everybody that has access to the internet, fancy phones, and gets on there and touts an opinion that nobody is allowed to ever challenge them on, talk about, or debate. But yet, they're very oppressed. They're very beaten down. They're the downtrodden bottom of society that are picked on by the rest of us, which we all know is bullshit. Bullshit. Anyway, I'm going to stop here because it's enough for me. I didn't plan on doing this like this. But like I said, just had to spill the garbage out of my mind. Get it out there, get it empty so I can enjoy my day. But I'll talk to y'all later. This is Drac. Peace.